We got another video.
This video is sponsored by
Okay.
Scentbird, the
I
only
love you,
monthly
Mr.
cologne and
Nightmare,
perfume
but I gotta
subscription service out
skip
there
it.
that I trust. I've been using Scentbird jobs to provide for us.
Hold on.
She'd sometimes have to work 9 or 8 years old. My older brother and I grew up in a broken household.
That's tough.
Our mom raised us. Our dad
It's a
was a
nice house,
deadbeat and disappeared out of our lives. Our mom worked 2 jobs to provide for us. She'd sometimes have to work
God
night
bless.
shifts, and would usually have our grandma stay at the house on nights that she had to work. My brother Austin is 2 years younger than me. We were fortunate enough to have our own bedrooms given the circumstances.
Never had a younger
We
brother.
lived in a
for real.
small house, but for the 3 of us and on our mom's dime alone, it wasn't terrible. The area in which we lived wasn't amazing though. It was a night like any other. I can't remember if it was a school night or if it was a weekend. I don't remember any
It's a
tiny
chill night.
details
It's a
like
chill
that.
night.
But what I do remember is I was in the living room with my grandma. She was watching TV and I was playing with Legos on my Lego table.
I wasn't really a Legos
I was
guy.
being loud and making
Too
a mess
much
with them.
building.
Because I remember my grandma kept saying, "Alex, quiet down." Austin was already in bed. My bedtime was 9:30.
He was
Given
already
that it
in
was
bed.
probably
He wasn't
approaching that
folded,
time.
was he?
I'm guessing this was a weekend night, otherwise my bedtime would have been
Damn.
earlier. The layout of the house was simple. Living room, dining room, and kitchen are all connected.
Okay.
And then there was a hallway which led to the bathroom and 3 bedrooms. Our mom's bedroom was at the end of the hall. Mine was in the middle. Our grandma would sleep in our mom's bed when she'd stay over to watch us. Eventually, I had to go to sleep. My grandma would always go to sleep early too. So right after saying goodnight to me, she would go to the
That's one
bathroom
of
to
my
brush her
worst
teeth and
nightmares,
stuff
bro.
before
Home
going to sleep as
invasions.
well. I was never one to be afraid of the dark or anything. My mom says I used to be a really brave child. But that night, I woke up in the middle of the night. Something unusual for me because I remember myself being a very heavy sleeper. I heard
What?
something outside in the hallway. Creaks in the floor. The wood floors in that house were always very creaky.
No. One creak or 2 creaks, okay. But continuous creaks, that's a problem. That's when we gotta draw the line. We acting up. The house is not acting up. You acting up. Like, what's going on? What you doing in my
Anytime
crib?
someone walked down the hall, you'd hear it. I thought my grandma was going to the bathroom. However, the creaking didn't stop. It sounded like the creaks were moving back and forth.
Oh, hey. He trying
I
to
got
scope
out
the
of bed and
scenery
went
out.
to the door to listen. Now I heard whispering.
Why are
I was
Paul
more
when you saying you
confused
heard
than
whispering?
anything.
What the
I thought my grandma was talking to Austin. I opened the door and looked into the hallway, and what I saw still haunts
What you
me.
see?
There was a tall, naked, skinny woman
Okay.
leaning on the wall with her head between her arms.
Okay.
She was whispering stuff to herself.
Okay.
And then, like a deer in headlights, her head whipped around to look at me.
What?
I screamed for my grandma like a little girl and slammed my
Not
door
no,
shut.
Not no freak boy this
There were
time.
pounds on my
It's a
door,
freak
and the
girl.
woman on the other side was screaming a name. Jeremy,
hell
Jeremy,
is
open
Jeremy?
the door. I kept screaming as
You got
loud as
the
I could
wrong
for my grandma,
house.
and I heard her scream in the hallway. What I distinctly remember
Okay.
was my grandma screaming, "Get the fuck
On
out of
me.
here."
Mm-hmm.
The woman screamed, "Where is Jeremy?"
If you don't got Jeremy,
My grandma was
we
in
got
her
buckshots.
mid-60s at the time.
We got
She was still
my
pretty
boy
quick.
Buck.
She yelled at me to keep my door locked, and she managed to fend off this crazy woman as she also called the police at the same
grandma
time.
is
I don't know how she did it,
but she's
but my
fire
grandma was
with
one
it.
tough woman. The woman left the house screaming Jeremy, and after locking the door, my grandma came to hug both
Nah,
me
we
and
gotta go to
Austin,
the
who was
hotel for a
awake
night.
and also crying from the
We gotta go
commotion.
to the hotel for a night. How's she getting?
We all sat huddled
Nah,
together
the house
until
is
the police
compromised.
came. By that time, my grandma told us to just go back to sleep.
No.
This simply was a matter of my grandma not locking one of the doors, mixed with living in an already shady area.
Oh nah.
That
No.
woman had to be
no.
on crack or something.
No. The
Seeing
house
what
was
I saw
compromised.
at such a young age did a number on me. I couldn't sleep alone for a long time. It was this incident that really resulted in us moving out of that house not long
Yes,
after.
yes, yes. That's great. Oh my gosh.